Good morning, everyone. I hope you are enjoying all the information that I'm sharing with you about overeating, binge urges, and cravings, and how your diet really influences those things. So, yesterday I shared with you in this group my food for yesterday. Yesterday was a little bit different because we were on our carb up day for the 80-day obsession month 2, which basically is restoring our glycogen in our body because we've been operating at a deficit. That means we'll have a little bump of energy to get us through our heavy workout today. And I've been talking about carbs and how there's this carb phobia that everybody thinks that carbs are bad. And really, I stepped on the scale today and my weight did not go up, and I actually look just as lean as I did yesterday, and I feel that I am leaning out quite well since doing 80-day obsession for the last 47 days. Carbs are not a bad thing, as I stated yesterday, but the issue with carbs nowadays is if you go out to a restaurant, your food is loaded with carbs and protein and not a lot of fruits or veggies or healthy fats. Healthy fat is not really as available at restaurants as if you purchase things and cook meals at home. Also, when most people run through a drive-through, to get coffee or donuts in the morning, it's always a carb-loaded breakfast, carb-loaded meals, because it's easy, it's quick, it's cheaper, and that's why carbs are becoming an issue. But my goal for all of you is to teach you about nutrition, and because I didn't understand a lot of this either, and I didn't understand why my energies were going up and down, why I was crashing. And so the one thing that I have learned, especially in the last year and a half from doing research about food pairing and about how your body digests things, as well as using our really simple container portion control system, and then now dialing it in with 80-day obsessions nutrition plan, is that you really need to pair a protein, a carb, and a healthy fat together. This is going to slow down the absorption rate, so it's not going to spike up your glucose levels where you're going to experience all those crashes. Plus, you're going to feel fuller longer. And so this is something that you're going to want to do. And if you looked at my meals yesterday, I shared that there was a carb, whether it was a traditional carb, like a bread or a grain or a potato, or something like a fruit, but it was always paired with a protein and a veggie and a healthy fat. Healthy fat is something that is really important. For years, the trend had been low fat, low carb, low calorie, and really what that was doing was not creating a bunch of skinny, healthy people. In fact, the obesity rate keeps going up. And so what has happened is that people have replaced things with very processed foods, with sugar substitutes that are very unhealthy, and they're depleting their body from the right carbs, which is what really is our energy source. I wanted to read you something scientifically which tells you the importance of carbs. So if you're trying to cut carbs out of your life, I really hope that this helps you so that you no longer do that. I don't believe in cutting out main food groups. You can get carbs from other sources, so you don't necessarily have to eat sweet potatoes or whole grain bread, but carbs do play a big part in your life. So carbs play a vital role in our brain health and help manufacture the production of serotonin. That's what makes us happy. Serotonin is the main neurotransmitter regulating our mood and your appetite, so it's important. When we restrict the intake of carbohydrates, we put ourselves at risk of lower serotonin levels, which in turn can affect our mood. Fibers and starch are two types of complex carbohydrates. Fiber is especially important because it not only helps stabilize the blood sugar levels, but it also helps us to feel full and satiated after eating and helps us to promote bowel irregularity. So if you're asking what types of foods are considered complex carbs, and that's what you're going to want to lean towards versus simple carbs that are more processed, I have a list, and that is available to all of you in your on-demand library as well, that comes with all of our programs. There is a list of foods that are like approved that fall into the carb category. And if you eat from the top, those are the more healthy ones. As you go down, they get less, they're not as healthy or high in nutrients. So this is something too I wanted to share with you about fat. It says fat, for many of you, even the word alone can strike a shiver of anxiety in your heart. The truth is, for years we've been getting fat all wrong. We are now being informed that the low fat campaign, which kicked off in the 90s, my parents did that big time, was in fact a mistake. It was based on little scientific evidence and may have caused unintended bad health consequences. A Journal of the American Medical Association study recently revealed that a low fat diet showed the greatest drop in energy expenditure and increased insulin resistance, which is a precursor to diabetes, compared to a lower carb and low glycemic index diet. They are basically saying that low fat diets are crippling metabolic rates, causing obesity and increasing the risk of diabetes. In the United States, obesity has rocketed despite the percentage of calorie consumption from fat falling from 40% to 30% in the past 30 years. One reason is that the food industry compensated by replacing saturated fat with added sugar. Many of the top experts are now trying to undo this damage and spread the word about the importance of dietary fat. Sweden recently became the first Western nation to adopt a high-fat approach to nutrition. The belief that fat makes you fat is based on a myth. Eating fat helps you to curb overeating, and it also helps you to feel full, content, and satisfied after eating. So one of the things that I have found is, you need to educate yourself as what is a healthy fat and a not healthy fat. So people will talk, I remember posting a long time ago that I was eating avocado. They're like, oh my God, that's high in fat. But it's the good fat. And there's avocado, there's almonds, there's, fish, walnuts, cheese, extra virgin olive oil, nut butters like almond butter, peanut butter. Those are the things that I use. And even ghee, which is clarified, butter. Sometimes we'll use Kerrygold. It's from grass-fed cows. So this is something that they do recommend, that if you've been living on a low-fat diet, make sure that you educate yourself on what is a healthy fat and slowly introduce it into your diet since you haven't had it recently. So these are the things that are going to help educate you, and you can be really clear. So you're going to want to make sure that when you're making a plate, that you're really looking at the way things are portioned. So you would have a plate, you would section it off, and so you'd have protein, healthy fat, and the majority of it carbs. And that can be something like, they give an example here: a plate of rice and broccoli, 1/4 chicken and 1/4 avocado, half a plate of whole grain pasta, 1/4 fish, and a cream oil-based sauce, half a plate of baked potato and veggies, 1/2 roasted meat with gravy, half a plate of fresh salad, and half a plate of cheese omelet. And so that's basically, if you look at my meal that I shared yesterday, it's a lot higher in carbs because it happened to be a carb up day in our plan. However, you can see the way I'm pairing foods, and I really encourage you guys to do the same thing. Our simple container system really lays out that if you look, the blue, the orange, and the teaspoons, those are all healthy fats. So you can break that up and add those to each of your meals that have a protein, that have either a yellow container or a purple container, which is carbs, and mix that together, and also add a green with that so that it will help you digest your food as well. So I hope this has been helpful, and I hope that you're enjoying all the information, because I know that food addiction and food habits seem to be people's biggest stressor as well as their biggest drawback of getting results. And I want you to get results. I didn't just bring you into this group to be like, here, try our products. I truly want you to get results. I want you to get control of your eating and also be able to experience food freedom, so that you understand what you should be eating, how much you should be eating of it, and that you don't live such a restrictive life that you just completely fall off and binge eat. Because I don't want you to sabotage all of your results, because so many of you are working out so hard, you're doing the right things, you're putting the right things in your body, you just want to make sure you're doing it right, you're getting enough calories, that you're staying satiated, so that you're not prone to go and overeat at night and then deal with that embarrassment, that shame, that guilt for sabotaging your results. So as we go on the next couple days, I'll be sharing more. And if you have any questions, reach out. And again, yesterday I shared my my foods that I ate yesterday, so you can kind of take a look at and to give you some ideas of what to eat. And if you're needing help meal planning, figuring out what calorie level you should be at and need some meal plans, just reach out to me. I'll be happy to get on a call with you and help you.